That night I dreamed about the boy. It was raining. He was running on the beach, and people were chasing him, throwing stones at him and calling him names. Jippo, thief, dirty pervert. There were hundreds of them, brandishing sticks and lead pipes, shovels and rocks, whatever they could lay their hands on. Their nightmare faces, gripped with hate and streaked with tears of rain. Dirty Jippo, dirty bastard. Jamie Tate was there, oiled in his too tight swimming trunks. Angel and Robbie were there. Lee, Brendel, Bill, Dominic, Deefer, Simon, Dad, everyone from the island was there, all storming across the beach, screaming out for blood. And I was there too. I was with them. I was running with the mob. I could feel the wet sand beneath my feet, the rain in my hair, the weight of the rock in my hand. I could feel my heart pounding with fear and excitement as I raced along the shore, past the pillbox, heading for the point. The boy had stopped running and was standing on the edge of the mudflats. All around him, the air shimmered with unseen colors. He glanced over his shoulder, looking at me with beseeching eyes, pleading for help. But what could I do? I couldn't do anything. There were too many. Okay, so today I am doing the book Lucas, along with a few others, but this is one of 4 books I've read by Kevin Brooks. And Kevin Brooks is from England. His writing style is kind of unique. You don't really have long paragraphs, and there's a lot of, I don't know, it just seemed different to me. Maybe not particularly this book, but I know a couple of them I was reading through, and it just kind of, I don't know, there was something different about it. But anyways, so the book is a coming-of-age story about this girl named Caitlin, or Kate. And anyways, she goes to the island to see her father, and her father's an alcoholic because her mom recently passed away. And anyways, at the beginning of the book, she's kind of lost and confused, and then she meets this kid named Lucas, which is the title of the book, and he is a gypsy, which is kind of obvious in the quote I read, but he is an outcast of all sorts, and the people on the island do not like him in the slightest bit, and gypsies are kind of looked down in a lot of cultures, and they're thought of as being thieves and stuff. And so the book kind of takes that idea. But anyways, Lucas is kind of just a good guy. He's a loner, and he saves this girl from drowning, and the people call him a molester. And it's kind of about like how a crowd can turn so quickly on someone just because of what one person says, because that's the kind of personality of a crowd. They could just take one thing someone says and then just go with it. So then they start saying he molested this girl even though he saved her, and everyone saw it. But the mom like runs up and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he molested my daughter, get away from her." And then the crowd's like, "Oh, he must have done it." And you know, that's what the story goes. But then there's also this other character who, I don't even think she's actually in the book, it just kind of talks about her, but her body is found, and he gets blamed for the murder even though it's another character in the book. And it's just kind of really sad because everyone's just all picking on Lucas just because he's different and just of who he is. But that is Lucas in a nutshell. Another book by him, I don't actually own the book, I just borrowed it from a friend whenever I was reading it, is Candy. It's a story about a prostitute named Candy who's addicted to drugs, and this kid named Joe tries to save her and get her out of that lifestyle. That's probably my second favorite out of Kevin Brooks books. Kevin Brooks books. Okay, anyways, and then there is The Road of the Dead, which this is probably it's one of my favorites. I mean, it's pretty good. This one is about 2 brothers who their sister has gone missing and died mysteriously, and they are also gypsies. Well, they're not complete gypsies, they're half gypsies. So, I mean, they're kind of still looked down upon and people don't like to treat them fairly. But the older brother is kind of more, I want to say vicious, but that's not the word I'm looking for. He's just more, I can't think of the word. Anyways, he's just kind of harsh. There we go. We'll go with that. And more brutal. And he's just kind of like out for blood in a sort of way. And then there's his younger brother who's more like the voice of reason. And I think it's written, I'm pretty sure it's written from his little brother's point of view. Yes. Yes, it is. Anyways, and they find out that their sister was kind of just caught up in an accident that had nothing really to do with her, and yeah, and they get involved in some drama in the town where they were going to go get her body and bring it back to her parents. The last book is Kissing the Rain, and it was good. I liked it. I don't know, it's not one of those books that I really remember too much. Basic story outline and stuff is there's this fat kid. He witnesses a murder standing on top of a bridge where he just likes to go and think because, you know, people call him names. And he witnesses this murder, and the murderer is like this big time gang leader. And so he's got police hounding him for information because they want to get this guy in prison because he's always getting away with crimes. And then the gang member is like, no, don't tell him this or we'll come and kill you and your family, and just a bunch of stuff. And then his friend kind of claims that he saw it so he can get some kind of publicity. It's just really big. But the reason I think I really didn't like the book, I mean, it was okay, don't get me wrong, it was okay, but the ending just kind of was like, why? And if you read it, you'll be wondering, you'll be like, why did you recommend this book? This is an awful book. How could it end like this? And let's say it's just a lack of ending. It's like you got to kind of imagine it yourself. But anyways, that is the book club.